there was some shit I was gonna bring up and talk about, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to, because it's just not that big a deal. This damn door. It's like halfway through the stream, it gets dark enough, like late enough in the day, it's not so bright, but like this time of day, it's beaming through a window that's like directly on the other side of where that door's opened at. But I guess since we're dealing with the nonsense of queue times to get in, we're going to watch a couple things. And I want to watch this thing about the flat earth because I think flat earthers are hilariously ridiculous. And then we're going to watch Guga talk about the greatest versus worst burgers on TikTok because those are always fun. I like Guga's videos. So we're going to check these out. Oh my god, that's so loud. Holy shit, why was that so loud? I don't know why that was all the way up.
Terry R. Iker is a
Good
flat
God.
earther who is not a fan of us debunkers. And he has come out and done what not many flat earthers have done. He's explaining how solar eclipses work on a flat earth.
Explain it to me, Magic Man. How does a solar eclipse work on a flat earth?
Hello all and welcome along to another Flat Earth Friday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Now, before we begin, say a huge thank you to the sponsors of today's video, Curiosity Stream. The best place.
Part of the reason I want to bring this one up is because of the fact that I had a TikTok video get blocked because I responded to somebody who made a flat earth video discussing about how the earth is flat and you can't disprove it, and they went through their examples, and I made a video saying that all of their examples have been disproven numerous times. They didn't have one single example that hasn't been disproven multiple times by not just science, but just people who can, I don't know, look at a globe and say that's not how it works. Especially if you had one of the solar systems where you could rotate it, and all the planets rotate around the sun in order. The moon rotates around the earth or orbits the earth, and they all rotate while they're orbiting. And used that to disprove it, right? So that was funny to me. And then my video got taken down and censored because I made them mad by pointing out that if you're in the southern hemisphere, you see different constellations. People in South America learn different constellations than they do in North America, but if you're learning astronomy, you're going to be taught northern hemisphere is not necessarily North America, it's northern hemisphere constellations, because that's where most of the science was done, studying the stars and writing this stuff down that became the books. So those are the commonly known and discussed constellations in the sky. But if you go south of the equator, they use different constellations. And if you go to the extreme south regions, the southernmost regions of Africa, like South Africa, the southernmost regions of South America, or you just go down to Sydney, Australia or something on the southern end of Australia, they use different constellations, and they don't see the North Star as often as we do in the northern hemisphere, where it's always there. And I also asked why that is, that you don't see all the stars, and if all the stars rotate like this above a flat earth, you should be able to see all the stars, right? But you don't see all the stars come by. The North Star just does not do that. If you're near the equator, you can see pretty much all of it, but if you're at the extremities, you miss out on stars that are literally just on the other side of the equator that you don't see. So it's funny that they didn't have an answer, so they got mad and reported my video as harassment because I asked about the constellations and about why the North Star is always above roughly where the North Pole is, since the North Pole wobbles like this. So sometimes it's directly above, sometimes it's just slightly off depending on where the North Pole's at in its wobble. So how is that if it's always to the north? Why is that? Because if it's just in the middle above a flat earth, shouldn't your compass always point to the center? And that's where it is, because that would be how that would make sense on a flat earth model, right? But then you'd also see it all the time from everywhere, and that's not how it works. So apparently that was bullying and harassing and got that taken down. So I think I'm just going to go hard on flat earthers because they're weak-ass bitches with terrible theories.
Place to find and watch documentaries about science, history, technology, nature, travel, and so much more. Curiosity Stream has exclusive award-winning films and shows.
I've never used
you
Curiosity
can't watch
Stream,
anywhere else. Plus,
but I use
deepest
similar types of
collection
things.
The best documentaries from around the world, deeper than any other streaming service out there. You could think of it as the Hulu for history buffs or the Disney Plus for the scientist in all of us. Curiosity Stream adds new shows every week and is one of the best deals in streaming. Now, I am a huge
using that type of thing is actually where I get a lot of like the knowledge I have. That and just curiously Google searching, and I like DuckDuckGo a lot because you get different results. You get the same results you get from Google, but then you also get things that Google is suppressing. I just assume that they're not paying as much to Google, so they don't get pushed to the top of the list.
And for all SciManDan fans, use the code SciManDan to get 25% off, which is great because it's already one of the most affordable and best deals in streaming.
Getting 25% off is actually a really good deal on anything. That's a really good deal.
Video, which, as I said earlier,
how old is this? Shit. 9 hours ago. So that's definitely a good promo code for anybody. 25% off if you're interested in just, you know, watching things for educational reasonings. There you go.
Flat earther Terry R. Iker trying to show us how solar eclipses work on a flat earth.
Ah, just shock me, flat man.
Here we go.
Good afternoon,
Jesus.
everyone. I've been getting a lot of questions lately about how an eclipse works on the geocentric flat earth model. And it can be complicated unless you understand how
can it be,
close
though?
the sun and moon are and how the sun and moon rotate around the geocentric.
Fuck. Around the geocentric Earth. My God, the way these people talk. I knew what we were getting into, and the dumb still slaps me right in the brain. Okay.
Flat Earth model.
Don't worry, because the flat earthers don't understand how the sun and moon rotate around their own model either. Never an explanation of what powers them or the physics behind it. They just do.
Okay, now NASA and
Yeah, they do because you see it happen, right?
The moon passes in between the Earth and the sun. Now that is true, but it's just not the way that they tell you that it is.
According to you, a flat earther. Meanwhile, the rest of the world understands quite easily how it works, and the evidence.
This saves me a ton of time. It only takes like 5 minutes.
I love the snark this guy gives these all the time. This guy always provides excellent snark, and I love it. It's fantastic.
From the International Space Station.
Imagine.
One of the first things that they tell you is that the sun is 400.
Like, what's funny is we'll go back to this. So he's saying, right, that you can see this. We'll listen to how he phrases it again.
And the evidence for it can even be.
So when you see this, you see how this horizon here is lower than this horizon here, and how it doesn't just scale up, because if it did, it would end up somewhere up here. So it shows that there's a curve to the globe, the globular Earth. So what makes me laugh is flat earthers will explain this and say, like, oh, well, they're using a fisheye lens. That's how they get it to look that way. The thing is, if as somebody who grew up skateboarding and making skateboarding videos with my friends, that's why we used fisheye lenses. Isn't because it curved the thing. It's because it gave you a super wide view of everything, so we could skateboard next to our friend, capture everything that was happening in the video, and have less error in the film, right? So there was less editing to take place to make it look good, because you could see everything, and a lot of the time you didn't have to edit it. You'd just cut out like the bullshit of like riding the skateboard to the trick. You could cut out a lot of that, but that was pretty much the majority of our editing, aside from adding music, things of this nature. So if you're using a fisheye lens, the reason I point that out is because that's where you got video camera experience. Like, handheld video cameras were popular because of skateboarding. That, like, it was the first thing that was popular for handheld video cameras, and fisheye lenses were popular there. It was kind of where it popped off, right? And the way a fisheye lens works is it equally rounds it out. So this horizon and this horizon would be the same. The curve would be perfectly shaped. It wouldn't be off like this because of the fact that it's showing the globular curve of the Earth. It's not perfect. The Earth's actual curvature is not a perfect curve. It's not a perfect sphere. It's got dips and valleys and ridges and peaks. Like, it's a globular. It's different.
Seen from the International Space Station.
And one of the first things that they tell you is that the sun is 400 times the size of the moon, which by coincidence makes the sun and the moon appear to be the same size in the sky at the same.
Yes, it does. And because of the distance from the moon, the size of the moon, the distance of the moon from the Earth, and then the size of the sun and the distance of the sun from the Earth, they mathematically equate to being the same size visually from the Earth because of that. Like, if you do the math, that's how it works. And the reason, like, the odds of having a moon that's that perfectly sized in relation to the sun is part of the reason that there's the alien theory that says that aliens dragged the moon into its spot, right? So there's another theory that's out there about the moon and the reasons that they think that that's there. So there's that, right? But I suppose the Earth is flat, the aliens don't exist, and it's all fake or something, because the flat Earth thing doesn't make sense.
Same time.
Not always, and it's not exact. Now, I've shown this before, but look at the relative size.
You have to be in the right spot on the Earth.
Right.
That's true.
Now, as you can see, at the moment, they're quite
a little bit
similar
bigger
sizes. But look at when the sun is at its largest and the moon at its smallest. This is when you get annular solar eclipses. Conversely,
this also depends on where you're at in relation to the eclipse. If you're not directly in the path of the eclipse, like, you can look up where the eclipses are going to happen and where to best observe them on the Earth, and that is all in relation to which part of the Earth is going to be directly aligned with the eclipse when it happens. If you're not directly aligned with it, you'll still see the eclipse, but it's not going to line up as symmetrically and perfect as it does here, for instance. Or when you get, like, a total eclipse. It just doesn't line up as symmetrically perfect.
this is when the moon is at its biggest and the sun its smallest. So you see, it's not exact.
So first of all, let me.
No, it's not. It changes regularly.
The sun and moon in the sky when there is no eclipse going on. Just your normal everyday sky. Now, take a look here. Okay, here's the sun on a cloudy day, and you can see the size of it really.
What's on my screen? What's on my, oh, like dust or something on my monitor?
It doesn't look so big and bright. Now let's take a look at the moon on a cloudy night. You see the similarity there?
Yeah, and I don't think anyone is disputing this.
They both look identical in size. Let's go back and look at the sun again.
Holy shit. Can we do the math on the fucking size of them versus the distance?
Like I said here, the
Jesus fucking Christ.
brightness so you can see the size of it.
So special. Okay, so then why is it that when the moon is on the horizon or the sun is on the horizon, it looks vastly larger than it does when it's in the middle of the sky? Does the flat earth have an answer for that as well? Because according to their model, it's never really on a horizon, right? It's just rotating, coming into your vision, right? So it's not actually over the horizon the way that the globe would work, which explains the size difference. Because of the particles in the air, you're looking through more particles looking across the horizon, so the light gets dispersed more, making a visual mirage, basically, of it. I just can't think of the right word, but it creates a visual impact that makes it appear larger than it normally would, because the light is being dispersed across more particles. So it, instead of coming straight at you like this, it comes at you like this. And when it goes through less particles, instead of having this wide of an angle, it has this wide of an angle. It's just a more narrow angle when it goes through less particles. And that's how the globe explains that. The flat Earth doesn't have an explanation for that.
Once again, the moon. Now, to the human eye, they both appear to be the same size, right? Your natural common instinct tells you.
Yes, and that's why I'd like you to do the math on it, because that would remove the human eye.
The human eye will
That's
not be able to
ridiculous.
detect the slight variations in size between the sun and the moon in our sky. They will look,
It won't.
for all intents and purposes, the same size. But crucially, they are not always.
Okay, now let's look at it from a different sky. Okay, now here's with a cell phone camera. Now we're going to zoom in on the moon.
Now let's keep in mind, this one is not a full moon. This looks like it's a waxing moon, right? So, one, it's not a full moon. So, you're not going to have the same size moon. And two, cell phones, they do a terrible job of capturing the moon anyways.
Okay, now that's as far as this cell phone will zoom in. Okay, now let's go back over here and...
You couldn't use a tripod for this?
Okay. Now, as you see, with the same zoom on the sun...
So not only is it not a full moon so that you could even have a good comparison, you're literally looking at the sun on the fucking horizon too. And cloudy. You're looking through the clouds to see both. Which, once again, that's more sediment in the air that you have to get through, because the light is going through the particles that make up the clouds, the same that it does just the particles that make up the sky and the air. So, whatever.
They both appear to be the same size.
No, they don't. The sun looks much larger.
But we get your point.
That sun looked way larger. We'll do it this way too. Watch. So that was zoomed in, and that's like a little bit larger than my thumb when I put my thumb up to the monitor. I know you guys can't see it, but for reference, just it's about the size of my thumb, right? This is like 1/3 larger. The sun is legitimately like 1/3 larger because you have a fucking waxing moon that's going through less sediment than the sun is. This fool.
To be the same size.
Not the most accurate of measurements, but we get your point. Let's all remember, though, as I stated earlier, that they are hardly ever the exact same size in our sky.
Yeah, and your eye isn't going to get an accurate measurement
Okay,
at all.
let's flip to the scripture.
It's not, your eye isn't the tool of measurement.
Let's flip over here.
Oh, okay, so he's going to use the Bible, which never once says that the earth is flat. It also does not say that the earth is the only place of creation that God has made, right? So, it says, let there be light. If the Big Bang created the universe, if God said, let there be light, and then light just, boom, appeared, we know that if light just happened, that comes from an expulsion of energy. What happens when you expulse energy? Pushes things out, like an explosion, right? So, it's not that one excludes the other. It's that people want to use one to exclude the other. But that's not the way it works.
Here to chapter 72.
It's just a lack of critical thinking.
Verse 37. As he rises, so he sets, and decreases not, and rests not, but runs day and night.
I remember you saying
Fuck, I should go grab a Bible and give this context. I might do that. I might go grab a Bible just to give this context, because this guy's going to irritate the shit out of me with this.
so cozy. How many rooms are in there? Should we go
It makes no sense to do that way.
Night, and his light is sevenfold brighter.
So when you do things like this, where you grab a Bible and you pull out one verse from one chapter the way he's doing, it removes all the context of what is going on with the rest of what's being said. Because as he rises, is he talking about the sun in this verse? Is he talking about the moon in this verse? No.
Than that of the moon.
That's the way this guy's interpreting a verse taken out of context to support his argument.
Well, if we're going by magnitude alone, then the sun is almost 400,000-fold the brightness of the moon, not 7 times more. But carry on.
Now let's flip over here to chapter 78. Okay. These are the two.
See, once again,
Their
skipping
circumference
context.
is like the circumference of the heaven, and the size of the circumference of both is alike.
Great. So the people that wrote the Bible, more specifically the Book of Enoch.
Also, you have to keep in mind the fact that the Bible being written took thousands of years of these stories being told verbally from one person to another until they were written down. So you're playing a game of telephone with these stories that are written down early on like that until they actually get all the way up to a point where they're writing shit down more recently to the events that took place. So a grain of salt is necessary with things from these older texts from the Bible as well. Like, it's absolutely wild that people want to be like, no, it's literal. It's literal. Like, you're just trusting verbal stories from humans that took thousands of years to get written down.
Could see the sun and the moon. That is all this proves.
Imagine that. So when you look up into the sky and your common sense and your instincts tell you that they both are the same size,
But they don't tell me they're the same size.
What?
They don't tell me they're the same size because I know that if I take 2 apples that are the same size, and if I put one apple 2 feet away from me on the edge of my desk, right over here on my left, and I take another apple and I set it on my fireplace that's about 5 to 10 yards away from me, and they're both the exact same size, the one that's further away looks way fucking smaller than the one that's real close to me. Because that's how size and distance work. So the fact that the sun is always moving behind the moon tells me that the sun is always further away. If they are the same fucking size, then the sun should always look smaller. Significantly so. Lack of critical thinking.
Still remembering that they aren't really.
Okay, now that you understand that, let's use the 2017 total eclipse.
I do like that glare that it's getting off of it right here. That red little
Flat Earth.
bam. I like that.
Remembering that the sun
That
and
looks
moon
cool.
are the same size,
Just little lens glare.
side light,
Lens flare.
flashlight
I forget what they
is
call it,
not
camera
the
people.
Same size as this penny.
Well, isn't that a coinky dink?
So
Okay.
the penny is going to represent our moon, and the flashlight is going to represent our sun. So let's move our sun source.
Okay.
The local
Oh, look.
will be on a flat Earth.
He doesn't understand how cameras and light work.
Eclipse works with the moon passing right underneath the sun.
So he has them incredibly close together. Like he doesn't understand distance.
And there you have your
It's hilarious. Okay, now put that
Yes,
light
that's all
further
very
away
simple and
so that you get
but here
distance.
is where your world comes crashing down. Now, because of our orbit round the sun and the moon's orbit round us, they are often different sizes in the sky, as I've been
Yes.
alluding to for the majority of
Yes, because our orbit around the sun is not a perfect circle. That's why the sun's size changes regularly in our view.
this video. Now, this means you get total solar eclipses, annular eclipses, partial eclipses, the lot. Now, the problem with your theory is that that gives you only one type of eclipse. In your model, you can never get an annular eclipse. Because yes, whilst the sun and moon do
Strange.
rotate above your flat Earth, they don't move closer or further away from you, do they? So in your explanation, they are always exactly the same size, but in reality, we don't see that. So Terry, here is the question, because I know you watch my channel. How and why do you get an annular solar eclipse in your flat Earth model? Simple as that. Shouldn't be too difficult, should it? I'll await your response. Right, well there we go. Another fascinating look into the world of the flat Earth.
So like he gave like sciencey explanations, and that's part of why I like when this guy breaks down flat earthers. I really appreciate how Simon Dan breaks down the flat earthers stuff from the science-y perspective. I just try to break it down with like a critical thought and like your thought is flawed perspective, because I don't expect flat earth people to grasp science when all they want to do is dispute that the science is a lie in the first place. So there is that aspect as well.
And as always, if you enjoyed it today, please do consider subscribing to the channel. And if you really
I already did that. I like this guy's videos a lot.
Button too would also be very much appreciated. Just enough time to once again thank Curiosity Stream for sponsoring today's video. Remember, click the link in the description or go to Curiosity.
Yeah, and you get 25% off. That's wild. That's a huge discount.
Off now. I've been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a great weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday for the return of Mr. Astrotheology, Santos Bonucci himself. See you then.
Oh, see, I probably will watch that one like off stream so that I can learn something. And we're going to check out really quick because I don't know if we're going to watch this or if the game is actually working yet. Oh, man, 14 more minutes in the queue, so we're going to watch this one. That's what that means. We're still not there yet. All right. Come on, Guga. I'm just going to drop a like on this video right now because it's Guga. And Guga's videos are always S-tier videos. So I'm just going to drop a preview like button because I know I'm going to like it. He's never steered me wrong. Even when it's something that comes out wrong or looks terrible, the video is S tier typically. Some A tier, but they're always great. Make whatever ones look good, and then see if you can take the bad ones and make them delicious.
Wait, is he using a whole brie as a cheese? Seriously?
That's a lot of cheese.
Oh, that's a lot of cheese.
Holy shit, he did 2 of them?
Stay away from this one. So it looks like he put a little bit of grape jelly with...
So look at how small the burger is compared to just one of those cheeses. And keep in mind, there's another one that goes on top because it's brie wheel buns that are fried. I bet that's just like amazing on its own without the burger, but that'd be amazing with the burger as well. I'd probably just do like one of these and cut it in half though if it was me. I'd prefer less cheese in my cheese to burger ratio.
Which is a perfect combination with the cheese. Torching the cheese is actually not bad. And for the bread, he goes ahead and deep fry a whole brie cheese. Come on now. Now I don't know if that's
like the fact that he put a slice on there too of cheese is like that's just for laughs. You're not even gonna notice that Swiss cheese.
That looks good.
Oh, you
What?
no. Denied. Denied. We're not eating that burger. You just ruined the burger. Nobody wants that. I wasn't even sure it was coming out of the cup. I wasn't sure I liked it, and now I know I don't like it. Fuck that burger. No.
Oh my God. What is
And it's not because I wouldn't eat bugs, but I'm not ruining a delicious burger with them. It's completely unnecessary.
You don't really want to see it, but you saw it. You can unsee it. That's what that one feels like. You can't unsee that. Oh, I don't want to see it.
See, I like how Guga's explaining this. You want to look away, but you can't unsee it. Yeah, see, I don't even try. I don't even try to unsee it.
That was terrible. 0 out of 10 will not recommend.
I'd give it a -3. These types of things are always weird, like the tiny cook things that are like that people do. Like, I don't know if he's legitimately cooking it or if he's mocking fancy restaurants. He may just be mocking fancy restaurants with it. Fancy restaurants be like, and he's doing this, right? The thing is, there are people who actually cook tiny meals like this, and I think it's fascinating because it seems insanely tedious and difficult to me to cook things on that incredibly small scale, and they have like miniature stoves and pans and tools like spatulas and tongs and everything to do it with. I don't know if you've ever watched any of those, but they're crazy. Did they say 100,000 or $1 million? $100,999,000. What the fuck? He forgot it's gonna be also be like 98 cents. That's hilarious. That's a funny video. That's a funny video.
That's exactly right. I mean, I went to a fancy restaurant, everybody, and they served me some wild, wild things, and everything is so tiny. You know what I mean? Look, here's the deal. A lot of chefs put a lot of effort and time on their dish, but at the same time, when they serve you a pork belly this big or a burger this big, and they charge you $100 million for it, come on now. Come on now. Come on.
It's true.
But this little thing right here won't even do a dent in my belly. That was funny, though. On to the...
Yeah, it was really funny. Like, and the thing is, like, I've gone to some really fancy restaurants and stuff too. I like treat myself to fancy food once in a while, just because it's a once in a while. Treat yourself. So, I'll do that sometimes. And the thing is, they'll make like a sauce or something that's amazing, and they'll do like interesting things with food that you're just not going to try anywhere else, or use ingredients that like you're not going to go out of your way and buy typically. And that's why I like going, especially like since my little brother's a chef. It's just like I like to go and experience some of that from time to time.
The next.
But it is typically overpriced for the portion sizes. That's right.
Piss.
How the fuck dare you insult me with your bullshit burger? Fuck yeah, that dog's mad.
Boy, he is pissed off. Take a look at this dog. Oh man, we gotta watch this one again. I mean, take a look at it. It looks nice, beautiful, and then as soon as you open up, and his face expression like, oh, I'm gonna give you some revenge. You're gonna see what's gonna happen.
He's even like bulking up a little bit.
I love
That's
animals.
funny.
That was awesome.
That was funny. That was a good video.
Oh, wait a second. You're
Wait.
dunking it in cheese?
Wait, like that doesn't even look like normal like cheese dunking. Like that looks like you're dunking it in like nacho cheese, and that sounds really good. Just having a burger with like a side of nacho cheese to dip it in. Oh man. This is one from the thumbnail. I want this burger. This
Hot Cheetos onto the burger?
So this is a burger that he's got flaming hot Cheetos and nacho cheese, and it's a play on what we used to do in school, right? Like, because when I was in school, you'd buy a bag of chips, and then you'd go over to like, you'd go through the lunch line, and you'd be like, I want nacho cheese in this thing, and they'd put nacho cheese in there. Like, there was a time when at my school you could actually do your own nacho cheese, and then they decided we were using too much of the nacho cheese, so we had to get it from the lunch ladies.
Oh, I like that.
It is a great
That
combination.
Looks like Cheese Whiz. I mean, take a look at that. That looks delicious.
I want that burger in my
That's a
mouth.
Genius idea. It should give you a nice crunchiness, but at the same time some spiciness. Man, I would definitely.
I want that burger in my mouth. That's a good burger.
I would say yes. Oh, I would say hell yes. All right. Oh, that's a cute baby.
Oh, watch this baby's gonna love it. I bet this baby goes in a coma. Oh, what the fuck did you do?
That's mean.
That's child abuse. That is child abuse. You baited this baby with a delicious burger and then you gave it some bullshit baby food. How the fuck dare you? I hope that baby, next time you do this, slaps the shit out of you.
Messed up. I mean, look, take a look at her. She's going in so nicely, and then that is.
And they even pull the burger away.
Absolute torture at its finest. But take a look at this baby. That's just messed.
And is it gonna get? Was this baby planning on not just burger but some bacon? Is that what's right there? Fucking robbed, man. Robbed. That's the robbery of the millennium right there.
Stop, man. You don't do stuff like that. That burger looks good, though. Next up, my brother Max.
I bet he did a good one. Was that Wagyu? Let me see. I want to pause it and see if we can see what it is. Okay. I did it too late.
Burger looks good, though.
I'm gonna try one more time. Up. No, I forgot he does the lettuce. Ground beef. Okay, it doesn't say it's Wagyu. They use a lot of Wagyu, so I figured maybe it was.
Burger, which I think is genius. Oh, that looks
So I like, when I make burgers, I like to infuse like the seasoning when you make the patty. I also like to infuse like little chunks of cheese into it instead of putting it on top, as well as like I chop up some jalapenos and I'll make some fatty burgers and put them in there. That's how I like to do it.
looks good, brother. The onion rings, that's pretty cool.
Did he put cheese inside? Oh, he did? Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. I've never thought of that. That's a great idea. I want that.
Topped it off with the bacon onions, and then in the end, he adds pork belly glazed.
Oh,
Damn, Max,
the
you're
oh,
right.
that's a
That looks delicious.
damn.
By the way, I miss you, Max.
That's
Come
a
back
good
so we can
burger.
do
I
some
want
videos
that
together. We
burger.
get some epic
Fuck,
stuff.
man.
All right, on to
That
the
burger
next
looked
one.
amazing.
Grinding your own beef is definitely the way to go. I highly recommend doing that. For
Yeah,
sure.
I need a meat grinder.
What is this? A burger tower? What?
Show you what we got here. Got the patty, salt, jalapeno.
Salt and pepper. Then you add.
That's
a
how
little
you
onion
do it, yeah.
there.
And then wrap some bacon and a slice of cheese. A little bit of onion.
Fact, American cheese, everybody. The best cheese there is for burgers. There's something to be said about when that cheese melts into the meat. It's just.
Yeah, like American cheese does melt better than other cheeses for burgers. However, it doesn't really matter if you know when to time your cheese and you take a slice of pretty much any cheese you want and throw it on there when it's on the grill, close the lid, and all of the smoke will melt the cheese anyways.
It's delicious. And if you
I
want
typically use
to
cheddar
add it,
cheese.
Grab that burger patty together with the cheese, dunk it in beef tallow, bring it
I'm
out.
not doing that. That's too much.
It's going to be an experience you will never forget. Yes, it's greasy. Yes, it's fatty. But listen, whenever
It's
you
just
eat
too
a
much
burger,
for
it's
me.
not
It
you
makes
trying
it
to
too
be
much of a
you're eating
mess.
Something delicious, and there's something to be said about dunking it.
Yeah,
in
it'll be
beef
great.
tallow, bringing it
It's
out,
just
putting
that's
it on the
just too
burger.
much. It would be a delicious burger. You just have to be ready for a messy burger.
Another one, why not? And then repeat. All right, now we're just loading this guy up.
Good
into
lord.
The smoker barely fits.
That does not fit, my brother. That was
No,
some
that was too
editing
tall.
going on right there, because that thing would not close.
Nope.
Ooh, money right there. Oh man, look at that.
You see, this is missing something that I really enjoy on a burger, which is a crust. At least for me, there's
Yeah,
something to be said
yeah.
about that caramelization that is created. This burger does not have any. Now, there's several different burgers that don't have any, and it's very popular, like steam burgers. If you want to see a video
What?
episode on a steam burger,
No.
But this one here, I really, really, really miss a crust. All right, next one.
Yeah, it'd probably still taste good, but it's not going to be as good as it could be. So pork belly. Torch the cheese to melt it. Okay. Oh, it's just a pork belly burger. That'd be good.
Right now.
That'd be delicious.
Oh,
But I
that
love
looks
pork belly.
amazing. And the pork belly is perfectly crunchy. Look at that. And he achieved what I like to call the ultimate crunch. Just listen.
The ultimate crunch.
Gotta melt
There
the
you go.
cheese, and he did a good job because he got nice golden brown and not black. Never get your cheese black. Golden brown if you can, everybody. It's just better. 10 out of 10 on this one.
I don't even care to get it golden brown. I just melt it.
Doesn't come in a bun, but in pita.
Doesn't come on a bun. It comes on a pita. There's nothing wrong with that.
A pita burger is probably still good.
Tell you why.
It's still a burger patty and what you need in between bread. That's a burger.
Crust on a flat top. Inside of that goes a handful of white cheddar before being folded over.
A handful? He's not joking.
Yeah, that was a handful.
So every bite just like explodes with cheese. Now that it's
It
all
will
done,
explode with cheese. This is a lot of cheese.
that then goes into a super soft pita with the garlic aioli, sour cream, tomato. and
Ooh, a garlic aioli. That'll be
Delicious,
great.
everybody. I'm not gonna lie. That looks like an
That would be amazing. But I love a good gyro, so I'd probably love this burger.
absolute beauty to go inside of your mouth.
Oh man,
That was a lot of fun. I love.
I knew we were gonna like that one. That was great. I'm happy. I watched Guga make watching these great burgers. I'm happy with that. That was a good choice.
Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys.
Oh, what? I'm not subscribed to Guga on this one. Oh, I'm subscribed to like Guga Foods and Sous Vide Everything. Not Guga's Guga channel, I guess. That explains that. I bet this is ready. Son of a bitch! Why are you playing something? There was nothing for you to play. Get out of here. We can play our game now. Now it's Diablo time.